is, people. New bike, new start. Let's go to Thailand, eh?
Alright, so it's about 6:30 in the morning. I'm heading over to the bus terminal to meet up with Jason as we head out of KL to get up to Phuket. Gonna meet him up there, and hopefully things are in a positive direction. Look who's here.
I got hit.
What?
I got hit by a motorbike. Well, it happened. I got Thailanded by a motorbike. Hit me in the back and then just took off. He must have come just up this way. Probably can't see the cones. The light's slightly covered by the bags. He might have some excuse, but Jesus, it's enough light here. You can see me. I'm not hard to see.
Are you okay?
Why?
I mean, I guess the bike is okay.
Everything else seemed to be intact, but man, I got pretty shooken up. And the guy, of course, he just jumped on his bike and took off. He just,
wow.
He stopped. He looked around, looked at his own bike, and off he went.
What is happening? Yo, that's wild. That's wild. Always an adventure in Asia, huh?
We realised in the very earliest stages of planning this event that due to a lack of time and money, we were going to have to take some non-cycling shortcuts. The Kuala Lumpur to Hat Yai, Thailand bus trip was one such occasion. To be honest, I hated this. All I wanted to do was grab my two wheels and hit the open road. But so far on this campaign, I was denied each and every time. Was I ever going to hit my stride?
One of the things that we were trying to do, obviously, as part of this was to be able to fundraise. As we were doing this trip, I made the decision, hey, let's put little clips, stories of what we have going on along the way.
Welcome to Thailand, everybody.
Right now I'm inside a tuk-tuk, you know, we get to start our adventure from the bottom of Thailand.
As a travelling expat, Thailand is my first love. I lived in Chiang Mai, the north of Thailand, for 4 years, and every day since I left, I miss its culture, its people, and its food. That's why, when I return, I love to sneak into my favourite shop to grab some Thai delicacies. Southern Thailand is actually home to our terrorist group, an active terrorist group that blows things up.
Okay.
So I thought now would be the time to tell you that.
I mean, that's always fun.
The warning on the terrorist warning list says, please do not use any overt signs of Westernism, like your hair. So I just thought I'd let you know once we got here. Well, it's worth it for these sausages. It really is worth it for these sausages. If you get blown up tomorrow in a car bomb, at least I know I had some bloody good sausages. It had only been 24 hours since I got hit by that motorbike in very similar circumstances, so I was understandably quite nervous. The streets of Hat Yai were dark, as were the highways, but as dawn broke, I could feel the momentum kick in. So I stopped for breakfast, pulled out my phone, looked down at Google Earth, and was filled with surprise and elation.
I've just knocked over 50 kilometres in one shot. Something I've been desperate to do.
Yes! Yes!
So I've decided to let Google Maps take me through a little bit of a wander through the countryside today. Out through some of the quieter roads and the villages, and I mean, I love it.
I guess you can say I finally hit my stride.
Alright, time to head off to the next location. Gonna take the tuk-tuk off the throne next.
I'm about 35 kilometers outside of Trang. The last hurdle is just rain, torrential rain coming down really hard, and it's really hard to know just how far to push it in the rain, but it gets to a point where it's like this. You just can't keep going on any further, and you're just better off taking time out. What is interesting is this place. It looks like someone had a grand vision of putting up some kind of a Rastafarian hippie bar, and something went wrong somewhere.
But I simply could not stay there all day. I had to push through the elements all the way to the top of the range, which was freezing. The weather cleared as I descended down the range, and arriving to Trang, I celebrated my best day's ride yet. But 150 kilometers meant that I was still on the road for 12 hours, and that didn't give me much time to charge my equipment, hand wash my clothes, tune my bike, and then to go out with Gift and eat. Here at dinner you can see Gift being, Gift.
You want me to take a picture with us? Just say hi to my people out there. Thank you very much.
Wow, look at me. I'm stuffed. And yet, I was so excited at the prospects of tomorrow's ride.
Our next stop after Trong was Khrap. And I have to say, it was so gorgeous just being able to drive by it.
Google Maps once again gave me the option of taking a bit of a back route to get to the hotel here in Khrap, and to tell you the truth, I couldn't take it quick enough. Just look at this place. This is magnificent. The digs here, the room here is unreal. Take a look. This is easily first or second class accommodation. 25 Australian bucks.
So we're gonna head down to the beach. It's supposed to be like a 15-minute walk, 10-15-minute walk, so should be fun. I didn't bring any headphones, so I'm just gonna enjoy the sound of the area. Gosh, look at this. Yo, this is a beach straight out of a movie. Wow. I don't think I've been in the Pacific Ocean. Have I ever been in the Pacific Ocean? I don't even know if I've ever been in the Pacific Ocean. Oh, what the deuce? Yeah, I don't need things touching me in the Pacific Ocean. Just be near. Not only just present what rugby culture is and what rugby does, but also where it can take you. This is what I live for. This is what you travel for. I'm so stoked about being on this trip.
Time for the bike to go on a boat ride with us. Phuket, are you ready to go, boy? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? She's ready to go. So what do you think about all this?
So this is really gorgeous. This is the stuff that you see whenever you watch Dragon Ball Z and you watch them kick each other into the mountains and you're like, oh, mountains like this don't really exist. And now I kind of can see Goku fighting like Vegeta or
Gift?
Yes.
What the hell are you talking about?
Anime people understand what I'm talking about. Anime people.
Yeah, both of them.
Getting ready for another day. We meet up with the Center Foundation for this one. What should we expect from Center Foundation?
We expect them to be called by their proper name, the Asia Center Foundation.
That would probably help.
Raylene is the lady who runs it, and she's doing a great job. She gets a lot of help from the rugby community here in Thailand.
I think I thought Raylene was Anne-Marie over with the Tanglins. Not Anne-Marie.
Well, not only is she not Anne-Marie, but she's not Raylene. She's Rolene from the Asia Center. Next thing you know, you'll be calling Thailand Myanmar or something. I really love Venezuela. I think it's great.
I mean, come on. How doesn't anyone feel good about being in Taiwan right now?
Phuket is one of Asia's most popular tourist hubs. And as with most tourist hubs, it has a very poor underbelly. How to deal with that underbelly? Well, that's what we were here to explore today. The first time I met the Asia Centre Foundation was at the Phuket International Rugby Tens. Now, of all the tournaments I've covered in Asia, the Phuket Tens is definitely one of the most social. It was while I was standing there amongst the usual array of sweaty, ugly rugby players that suddenly emerged these beautiful kids dressed in traditional Thai outfits. Amongst them was the leader of the Asia Centre Foundation, Roy. Now, it must be said that this seems, on the surface of it, to be a very strange combination. The truth is that the Asia Centre Foundation and the Phuket rugby community have a long and rich history together. It started for the Asia Centre Foundation in the year 2000, when Roy Ling first discovered that poverty underbelly that we've been talking about.
The municipality asked us to teach English to street vendors, and the first evening there were 5 adults, and the second evening suddenly there were so many children, and I basically went and investigated where they came from, and that's how I just ran into a big slum area in the middle of all the hotels there. And I thought that if we could make a little school in there, we could provide some program for the kids during the day, and safety and a meal, basic education. 2004, Patrick Cotter was the chairman of the Phuket Vagabonds Rugby Club, came to me and said, could I help with a 15-year-old boy that needed an ID card? And I said, yes, sure, we can try and see what we can do. And then he invited me to come and sell raffle tickets at the Phuket tent. It was the first time for us to attend.
It's interesting to note how this combination came together in 2004. Pat, Roy Ling, Asia Centre Foundation, and Phuket Rugby. It was almost as if it was preordained in preparation for the tragedy that was to come on Boxing Day later that same year.
På 5 minuter händer det här.
I had only one small project running at the moment, at the time in the slum, and we wondered how are we going to help, because it was just chaos. So we went to Kuala and we interviewed families living in tented areas in the forest, and we saw the need for basic necessities like clothes and toys and to distract them a bit from the trauma. We decided then that we could only help by doing a scholarship program.
So obviously the scholarship program was designed to hook up these children who were victims of the tsunami with long-term financial supporters. But who would these supporters be? Enter the Phuket Rugby Tens.
In 2005, teams from all over actually came to attend the event. The rugby teams all get allocated a child. They donate 10,000 baht per year to support one child. I think initially 144 students benefited from that. So we could give uniforms, bags, shoes, underwear, whatever they needed initially to get them going again. And we continue that program.
Roy Ling was able to take us to one of the homes of the girls. I've been to places before all my life where everything is very run down, but this was interesting. Like, the setup was almost like we have to make sure to conserve every bit of space.
There's no mother around. They separated when the kids were young, and actually Picnic into One came into our preschool way back. And then they've been on the scholarship program as well. So it's an ongoing process from they were about age 4 to now they are, what, 13 and 16.
You can see how much the difference is in their mindset. Like, we want to be bakers, we want to be, chefs, we want to be something that's bigger than what their initial surrounding is. And I think that in and of itself was so impressive.
But it's not just the scholarship program that has grown over the years. It's also the school itself. From its very humble beginnings in the slums in the year 2000, it has become this.
We were donated some land after the tsunami. A British donor came forward and said, my wife was working as a childcare worker. She passed away in the tsunami and I would like to do something back for Thailand. He asked me to look for 3 pieces of land, and this particular place is what he chose. In 2017 we actually started to build.
I like it. Yeah. The whole ACF experience was really dope for me. It was super surreal.
Sawadee. Khrap, you're gonna say Khrap. Oh, that's the female.
Sawadee. It was almost like this combination of seeing something that was super dope, super amazing, come together with something that is purposeful. I don't even typically like dealing with people under the age of 21. Like, they're basically blobs to me. But these kids were they were so engaging. It was impossible to not love them and, you know, just see the amount of potential that is being developed here.
Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was...
The staff was impressive. If you just sat and talked with them, you could feel the passion that they have to be able to help develop their community. It was just so impressive and so meaningful to be able to see that.
So we know that the land was donated. But what about all these buildings? Once again, we look to the Asian rugby community. This time, the Thai-based rugby club, the Bangkok Bangers. And in particular, the Bangers on bikes.
Yes, the Bangers, they actually have been an enormous support to us and our work. They've basically started a bike ride 10 years ago, and in the past 10 years they actually raised more than 2 million baht for us.
And the good news is that Roy Lee with the Asia Centre Foundation and Pat with the Phuket rugby community, their efforts have not gone unnoticed.
So many children has been helped, and but they would not have been able to do that without the help of the rugby community. So on behalf of my foundation, I really want to thank everybody, all the teams and Patrick, who made it possible that we could run a scholarship program and that we could help so many kids.
So this whole rugby thing's been worth it, hasn't it?
Yes, no, we love the rugby guys. They have good hearts and they have open hands, and those are the kind of people that help us to continue to do what we are doing.
Sawadee Khrap, there we go. Sawadee Khrap. Sawadee Khrap. There we go. That's what I once said. In 3, 2, 1.
Who's going to win the Rugby World Cup this year?
Oh, you cannot do that to me.
Who's going to win the Rugby
I know
World
you
Cup?
want me to say Australia.
I'll say whatever you want.
Well, South Africa, of course.
That was what I was expecting. So this is Saracen Bridge, the bridge that takes me out of Phuket. And normally I'm not into Phuket. It's just a bit too intense for me, a little bit too hardcore, tourism and stuff. But I've seen a different side of Phuket this time round, having seen Rylene and her team at the Asia Centre Foundation do their work, having rode through Phuket today, having a look at some of the beaches and some of the scenery, come away with a far more positive outlook on Phuket. And now in front of me, there are many hills to climb, so I find my way to Surat Thani over the next 2 days. So I can see those mountains from here. It's a good challenge, time to rip into it.
First injury. This is my bitch.
He just left me here.
And I gotta say, Bangkok definitely is a weakness.